For some of you, you might need to hear this. The Lord God is basically unconcerned about our plight down here. It's put us down here on this huge cycle of cause and effect. The Lord knows that Kal Niranjan, through cause and effect, is just going to train one constantly in all the incarnations they have. And so the Lord up here has said, no, I want the soul to come down and gain experience in this prison house, in this great big school of spiritual education. And we're going to use cause and effect to do it. So the Lord knows that all these souls that have descended down here aren't interested in spirituality at all. They're not interested in getting back home. They're not interested in God. They're not even interested in spirit. The soul's down here living its life. And so the Lord knows that all souls are taken care of down here, even though technically they're lost. And by lost, I don't mean lost forever. I just mean they're lost to their own divinity. As the soul matures, the Lord then has made provisions with the inner and outer master. And the outer master is existing right here in the physical plane. And the master's sole responsibility is to round up the readied seekers and begin them on the path. Through studying the outer works, through subjecting oneself to the outer master. And this is the power that the Lord has used, the inner and outer master, and of course the sound current, to contact these souls when they're ready. So the Lord isn't really even concerned about the soul down here until they're ready for the spiritual path. And then what the Lord furnishes us is the master. Now, I know you know this, but do you realize this? This is the key. That's the difference between reasoning and realization. The master, loved ones, is the power that you are going to turn to ask to be redeemed from the lower worlds. So do you get my point? If this is the power that you're going to make a request from, and then if you let yourself, the Kal is very slippery, and the Kal will somehow try and get you now to, here you're going to request a gift from this power, and the next thing it's going to do is the Kal is going to try and get you to somehow speak negatively, feel negatively, or somehow assume some negative state of consciousness, and that just completely negates your request. And so if this is the only power that can get you through, please appreciate the point I'm trying to make. You've got to treat this very, very kindly, very respectfully, very lovingly, or else he'll just stay away from you. So I'm trying to teach you, be aware of your mind and your feelings, because they're going to try and keep it from you. And you don't want to do dumb things. Even if your mind wants to make a negative statement, you and your own soul should be able to counteract this statement and say, no, 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 I'm not going for that. Now, I want to tell you people, the reason why this is such a problem and such an issue is because I've been talking about Kal and the master, but who's the chief agent of Kal? The mind. Okay, and who's the chief agent of the master? The soul. Now, loved ones, here we are, and we all want good times and happiness. I haven't drawn a face for a long time. And this is that right there. That's what you call a sheepish look. That's sheepish. Okay. Now, and then, of course, now here, and I love you, Master, you see. And you can tell this person's freaked out. And, okay, now here's why. Here's why this person feels like he's just seen Lucifer himself. It's because of the mind in John or Judy. Man, woman, I'm not into man, woman stuff. We're all the same, where it's just the soul. Okay, now, this is you right here. Now, bless this person, bless them, but you know what? Here they've got this mind in them, which is totally Kal. And one is living off of this mind. One has identified with this mind. Everything one knows about spirituality has come through the mind, either through the intellect or through one's reasoning power. This is who one has been for eons, the mind and the ego. This is who one has been. And yet this very individual, in order to have life, is embodied with a soul. So suddenly now we have a real contest here. Everyone is Kal through and through. Do not even flinch at this. And this is why I said the other day that when you come onto the path, you're a Kal channel. You're a Kal channel. You're saying you want God, but you don't know who God is, where God is, what God is. You don't know why you're here, who you are, why you're in the type of trouble you are, how to get out of it. But you come on the path, I want God. Okay, and I respect that. I really do. I'm not making light of that. But what I want to point out is when you come on the path, you're squarely in the mind. And the mind is the chief agent of Kal Niranjan. So whether you love Kal or not, or hate him or not, or whether or not you're even aware of his presence, Kal is all infused throughout your entire being. And that's why we have such a hard time on the path, because our mind is the obstacle. Now, you must understand that your own mind, Judy or John, whoever this is right here, has got to understand that their own mind sitting in here does not want spirituality. Right here is the Antishkaran center, the four divisions of the mind, the Manas, Chitta, Buddhi, and the Handkar. These the four divisions of the mind. Right above here is the third eye. How this little drawing is symbolized on the chart is this one right here, loved ones, this infinity sign. The white one's the soul, and the black one's the mind. The soul and mind are stationed in Dudal Kanwal, in every body. And then when one is in the lower worlds, this junction right here falls down to the heart. And all of our life is lived from the heart. And as we get into spirituality, we're trying to make this transition and rise this whole center of activity back to the third eye. But everyone is ruled. Dudal Kanwal, soul and mind knotted together. The soul is wedded to the mind. The mind has completely overpowered the soul. This guy right here or this gal does not have any idea that they are a soul. They may have read it in the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita or the Torah or Talmud or whatever, but they have not realized this. In their eyes, there's still that black one there, the mind. That's the mind. Now, this is what makes the trip so difficult. And I need you to understand this because I need your cooperation. You can't just willingly side with the mind. Now, loved ones, we're all going to do dumb stuff. You're not going to be held responsible for what you don't realize. You're not going to be held responsible for what you're supposed to do tomorrow or next week. It's only right now that you're responsible for. I fully realize that one doesn't understand what the soul is when they come onto the path. And can you appreciate my point that this puts this individual in a questionable spot? Here this guy or gal wants spirituality, but they come running onto the path and they're just simply a Kal channel. Now, the Kal has his biggest heyday with my chelas in the first 2 through 4 years, I would say. Because in this beginning phase, this individual doesn't know what it is or who he is or who she is. They're totally locked up into the mind. They know that they've been battered and knocked around. They've also had a lot of good times. They want truth, but then they come onto the path and they're sitting squarely in their mind. And they really don't know it. In fact, most chelas feel when they come on the path and start studying light and sound, they already feel that they are the soul. This happens more times than it doesn't. And I lovingly have to deal with each one of you on this one. You come in and your mind loves to usurp the power of the soul. If your mind could buffoon you into thinking that it's the soul and your soul doesn't even exist, it will. And it does so almost all the time. And this is what makes it such a challenge. So here comes a student onto the path. They want God. They're sitting in their mind, and they don't even realize that every attempt the master makes to enlighten them, they are going to try and neutralize or counteract. Every effort at love that the master bestows on the chela, this same chela with their mind is somehow going to try and exploit that love or turn it into something that's not. We don't have any choice. You see, and I want you to understand that, you see, and the mind is just famous for neutralizing all truth and love and divinity. Now, why is this? Why is this? Well, it's because the mind is so egocentric that it wants to be the ruler. It wants to be the king. It's so sold on itself and so puffed up about its knowledge, and yet the mind doesn't know a thing. It's really a shaky position. But this is how the mind works. And the mind wants to be the king. Kal Niranjan wants its chief agent, the mind, to run all of these human bodies down here on this plane. And it wants to run all the astral bodies, and it wants to control the causal and the mental bodies. See? And this is what we are faced with. If a full understanding of this does not exist, we're bound to get trapped. And this is where the outer master is so valuable. And he comes in and he tries to explain to you what's going on. Now, when I've been talking about the Kal, but the Kal is right in your body. Please get that. Because of your mind. And I've been talking about the master, but the master is right in your body as well due to the presence of soul. So here you've got these two powerful forces within you. One is as negative as it can be, and the other one is purely spiritual. And now this individual has to deal with that, okay? And so the Kal Niranjan, knowing that Susie or Johnny is at their lowest level of awareness at the very beginning stages, will move in and try and exploit this mind in this body. My job is to come in and counteract that and try to infuse you with some Shabda Dhun, or which is the sound current, the pure spiritual current. And hopefully Johnny here or Susie will start to appreciate the contest that's going on in their own life. And they'll start to see that, geez, I mean, I want the truth bad, but what's this power that is trying to take it from me? What's this power that doubts or gets pulled out by the 5 passions of the mind or the gunas or the other 3 minds in my body? Conscious, subconscious, and superconscious minds. And this is kind of the issue, loved ones. You see, there's a big game going on here. And this is what we call the journey of soul. The journey starts down here in the physical, and it goes all the way up to here. And this is a huge journey in consciousness. The whole journey transpires in consciousness. And it's immense. And so this individual is going to start to understand his cosmology. He's going to start to understand all these chakras and minds, and finally come to the realization that he's a soul and a mind. knotted together right here. Okay.